The Flowmaster Outlaw Series Axle-Back Exhaust fitting the 2007 to 2011 JK is for those of you looking for one of the loudest exhaust systems that you can find for your JK. Now, nothing is going to make your V6 sound like a V8, but if you are looking for the maximum amount of volume and a nice low exhaust tone, the Outlaw series is definitely going to be the way to go. This system is going to install in your Jeep very, very simply. Definitely a 1 out of 3 wrench installation, probably only about an hour's time to get it installed, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. So you're going to want to swap out the exhaust system on your Jeep for a couple of reasons. Going with a dual tip system like this will change up the aesthetic of your Jeep, and of course a black tip will give you that blacked out stealthy look. You're also going to get a little more sound, a lot more sound out of the Outlaw system, but in general an Axle-Back will give you that additional exhaust volume and that lower exhaust note. This system here is going to provide all of that, both aesthetics and a volume and note change from your exhaust system. Like I said, this is going to be one of the loudest systems out there. As you can tell, this bullet style muffler here is going to be a lot smaller than a lot of other ones. It's going to flow straight through. It's going to be nice and loud for you. So if that's what you're looking for, I think this is going to be an excellent choice for you. This system is also going to be made out of a high quality 409 stainless covered in this black ceramic coating, so it is going to last a good long time. Although the fact that this uses a stainless material instead of a aluminized steel does drive up the cost a little bit. This system, like most other Axle-Backs, is designed to directly replace that factory system on your Jeep. So these hangers are going to line up with the factory hangers on your Jeep. You're going to be able to slide your tailpipe right into this muffler system here, and the tips are going to bolt right on, making for a very, very simple installation. The whole system here is going to be made out of 2.5-inch mandrel bent tubing. That is going to be your factory exhaust tubing size. And mandrel bent just means that there's a piece on the inside and the outside of the piping during the bends, so you don't have any kinking or anything that might limit the exhaust flow. The muffler itself, as I said before, is a bullet style. It's very small, very compact, and that is what lets all of that sound through. Of course, back here you're going to have those black coated tips. Those are going to be 4-inch tips, and all of that is going to add to the aesthetic. This system from Flowmaster is going to come in at right around $500, which is going to be a little bit more pricey than some of the other systems available. However, you are getting something for those additional dollars. Again, this is a 409 stainless system that is covered in this black ceramic coating, so you're not going to have to worry about any sort of rusting with this system like you would with a system made of a less quality material, for instance, an aluminized steel. You are getting the aesthetic change of having 2 tips and these big 4-inch tips coming out the back of your Jeep, and this is going to be one of the loudest systems out there. So if that's what you're looking for, you want a very loud, very high quality system, and you have the budget for it, this is absolutely going to be the right choice. So to get this installed, again, 1 out of 3 wrenches, probably only an hour's time.
We'll begin this installation by removing our factory muffler. First step, we're going to loosen our exhaust clamp using a 15mm socket. Next step, we're going to remove our exhaust from our 2 rubber hangers. We're going to begin with the driver's side. Now before you get that last hanger all the way off, it's a good idea to support your exhaust. Once we get it off, we can wiggle it and then remove it from the vehicle. Now that we removed our factory exhaust, we're ready to install our new one. First step, we're going to place our band clamp onto the exhaust. Now that we have that on, we're ready to install it in the Jeep. Now that we have the exhaust in both of our hangers, the next step is to tighten up the band clamp. We want to make sure that our exhaust is all the way up and in, then we're going to use a 15mm to tighten it up. Now that we have our exhaust in, the next step is to install the tips. We're going to use a 3/8 wrench and ratchet. We're going to slide our tip on, adjust it, and then tighten it up. We're going to do the same thing with the other side. Slide the tip on, adjust it to where we want it, and then we're going to use our 3/8 wrench and ratchet to tighten it up. Now that we have everything tight, that wraps up our review and install. Check out more at ExtremeTerrain.com.